Wargaming just did something that I never thought possible, getting greedier in World of Tanks. And of course today we are taking a look at the new vehicle, the Lion, and hopefully you stick around because this replay that we're going to showcase is absolutely amazing, and it's going to showcase everything that you need to know about the vehicle, so when you jump into the game you know how to deal with it. How is it going, guys? It's Epsilon here, and of course we are looking at the Lion, the tier 10 Italian medium vehicle. I wanted to say premium, but you pay a premium to get this vehicle, but it doesn't actually offer you any of the real premium benefits. And yeah, it's an interesting one, and it starts off with a bang in this replay with an ammo rack of the enemy CS63. And what you feature with this Lion in particular is that it is, as with all of the Italian mediums in the game, including things like the Progetto M65, and also when you combine it with the Caro 45T, you have this auto reloading mechanic which allows you to pump out damage quite consistently, but it also allows you to fire when you need to, and also kind of have this dual play style that you can use within the game. And this is really where the Lion is quite good, and it's because of the fact that this tank can go 60 kilometers an hour. You've got 3,300 base DPM or just under. You have 9 degrees of gun depression, so really good on a ridgeline as you're seeing here. The armor of the tank, not particularly as good, don't get me wrong, but it can still be very, very good within the game, and that's really what we're after when it comes down to playing a medium tank, and it's about being consistent, and this tank is probably one of the tanks that can be kind of consistent. But do I think that this is innately broken or overpowered? Well, no, it doesn't get some ridiculous turret or ridiculous armor, and it can't just YOLO into opponents, so I think it's at least harder than some of the premiums they've been coming out with recently. I'm looking at you, BZ-176, but it's definitely a tank that can be competitive at tier 10. I just don't think it's going to be one of the kind of ruling class of tier 10. It's definitely not going to break any meta. And you can probably see it within the game. You've seen many of these things probably been taken out by things like the FE 4005 or enemy artillery. They're going to focus these because, remember, they are made out of pretty much paper, and everyone can basically go through these things. So you become a giant target when you decide to play one of these things, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, straight away you're seeing how well this tank can pick up damage, 6,400 already within the replay, and it's just an easy, nice game where, you know, you can play on this ridgeline, you can spot for your team using the view range of the vehicle. You've got 400 meters base view range, which is not particularly outstanding, but at least it allows you to get max view range if you do decide to use the equipment, which is probably something you want to do. And of course you want to have all of the perks and etc. to have on the vehicle as well. The one problem that you might have is yeah, coming up against anything with that big caliber gun, because they're going to go straight through you, which is not obviously something that you want when playing this. And you can see there the 60 TP on the enemy team sat in the bushes for some reason, gets a nice shot into the side of the tank, and now it's time to fully reload using the mechanics that you can use in this game. Now, the one problem that you'll find if you do decide to play with this thing is that you do have opportunities where you need to deal damage consistently, but if you do fire all of your shells, if you cannot fully take out the opponents that you're fighting, you can end up that you're left high and dry. And I mean, that is the case for all of these Italian mediums, all of the autoloaders in the game, but this one is certainly maybe not as bouncy when it comes to its armor model. I mean, things like the Progetto, pretty easy to bounce off of if you do kind of not fully aim. This thing, however, not at all. And the fact that you have to pay so much to be able to pick up this tank, and the fact that I don't even think it's available anymore at this point, so you may not even be able to pick it up in the store, so it is completely gone. And I mean, for some reason you guys thought that this was a brilliant idea to spend what is an equivalent of about £150 on one vehicle in the game, which is never ever worth it in my opinion, considering how you could literally buy 3 amazing games brand new for the price of this vehicle. And trust me, you'll get more enjoyment from not having to play World of Tanks and not having to play this vehicle than you will from just actually buying 3 new games. I would much rather have the 3 new games than this, and that's kind of what you have to weigh it up on. Of course, if you have infinite money, if money is no object for you, then you don't actually care whether or not you're going to be spending a ridiculous amount, then yeah, this tank is probably something you'll pick up. But for the average Joe, it's not one I'd ever recommend to go out your way and pick up, and I mean, I don't even think you can anymore. So hopefully you didn't go out of your way to spend all of your hard-earned cash on this vehicle and give Wargaming even more money, considering the fact of the premium bias that's going on right now. But either way, a very interesting tank, and you can see here with the highlight of the number that this vehicle has actually taken from purchasing the vehicle. You get a highlighted if you were within like the first 15,000 or something like that. I mean, wow, what an achievement. You're in the first 15,000 people to spend £150. So I mean, that tells you how much Wargaming have made from this, and I really am not a fan of the fact that they did it. But either way, it's now done, it is in the game, and hopefully this replay has kind of showcased that the tank can have really, really amazing replays, and it can be very, very competitive if a good player gets in it. But remember, it's not always going to be the same as this one, and most of the time you'll be finding yourself just getting penned by everything and finding it difficult to keep up with the damage per minute of some of the other tier 10 mediums in the game. So take it with a pinch of salt, but a good vehicle either way, and of course you can see it right on screen. Hopefully this video was enjoyable. If it was, please do like the video because it's super helpful for the channel, and of course we're trying to grow as much as possible within this to essentially we're aiming to get maybe 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2023. I have no idea, it's just a goal. Hopefully we can get there, and of course thank you for even just watching the video, it means so much. And of course if you want to check out any other videos on the channel, then there are of course these on screen right now, which are perfect examples of other completely balanced tier 10 vehicles. Thank you very much, and I hope that I'll see you there. Goodbye.